Yo, 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 what's up, man? This is your boy JERMZ from JERMZ Boxing, JERMZ the BOXING Prophet, aka JERMZ. I want to talk about a few fights that happened this weekend. I wanted to talk about the Katsidis versus Marquez fight. I wanted to talk about the Super 6 tournament. I want to talk about, you know what I mean? I want to just talk about all this other stuff. Okay, first of all, the Katsidis and Marquez fight. I don't know if you guys ever seen the prediction that I made for that fight. It was flawless, you know. I basically predicted that Katsidis and Casamajor were gonna do what they needed to do to create a candidate for Fight of the Year, an explosive Thriller Manila type of style where you got the slugger and the boxer. And I also predicted that Katsidis was gonna get inside and drop Marquez, you know, Juan Manuel Marquez. I predicted he was gonna drop him. So, you know, and it happened just the way I said it. You know, they scuffled up. They were doing stylistically. They were trying to, you know, dominate with each other's style. And Katsidis was gonna drop Marquez. Marquez was gonna get up, combination flurry away. You know, especially, you know, when you drop Marquez, people, you know, they lose their game plan because they try to rush for him, not knowing that that's the best style for Marquez to dissect. You know what I'm saying? So when Katsidis rushed him, he went and tried to really force that knockout on Marquez. But Marquez, being the slick counterpuncher as he is, kept dissecting the bull as he kept going forward. Kept going sideways like a matador, sideways, And don't get me wrong, you know, Katsidis will go in and hammer Marquez. And then, you know, like I said, Katsidis is prone to swell and cuts exactly as I predicted, and he swelled them up. I also predicted the knockout to be late in the late rounds, you know, in the round 11. It was in round 9 because I said that Marquez was going to toy with him at the end, and he did exactly just that. In the last round, he hit him with like a flurry of left uppercuts that basically wobbled Katsidis around, you know, and he kept, you know, Katsidis, he was already out on his feet trying to run around and wobble as he's running around, and Marquez kept beating him up with combinations, you know what I mean? So he was toying with him. So everything I said came 100%, I would say 99%, because of the round was like 1-2 rounds off. That was probably the only thing. But yeah, you know, another prediction that was dead on. A fight that happened in the undercard. You see, there's some fights that I wish I would have done the prediction for. Actually, there was 2 of them last night that happened that I didn't do prediction for, but what I knew was going to happen happened. I'm talking about Jason LITZAU when he fought Celestino Caballero. I heard that Celestino Caballero was LITZAU was a 13-1 underdog. That to me was a bunch of bullshit, because that means that nobody really took Jason LITZAU seriously. You see, I used to follow Jason LITZAU when he was a barroom brawler, when he was a club fighter, and the Warrior Boxing or ESPN, you know, the little cheapo ones. You know, I see him all the time. You know, he'll knock you out or you can knock him out. You know, he's like a little wannabe Arturo Gatti or something. You know what I'm saying? So when he went up against Celestino Caballero, I was like, you know what? Stylistically, this guy can beat Celestino Caballero, and nobody believes me. No, it's how the fuck can you? I'll tell you why. You know, because Celestino Caballero, he's cocky. He throws, when he fights, he turns into a little showboat. He drops his hands and starts, you know, toying with you. You know what I mean? Making faces at you, trying to get you in your head. But Jason LITZAU is the master of taunter. He's the master of mind fucking. So he's not gonna let that get to him. But Celestino Caballero always likes to keep his left hand down, and Jason LITZAU always has that sneaky overhand looping right hand. That's a thudding punch. And I said, you know what? If Celestino Caballero keeps messing around like the way he does, Jason LITZAU is going to keep sneaking in those right hands, and he's going to like put him off his game, and he's going to upset him. And sure enough, he upset him, and I would say it's going to be upset of the year. It has to be upset of the year. 13-1 underdog. That's like, you know, I mean, Buster Douglas was 44-1, I think, underdog. You know, 13, I haven't heard that in a while. You know, that's a pretty high number for an underdog to beat. You know, Celestino Caballero. Celestino Caballero was already talking about the opponents he was going to face afterwards. He's talking about Gamboa. He's already talking about Lopez. But you know what? LITZAU did it again. That's some real Rocky shit right there. I was jumping for joy because you know me and underdogs, man, I love them stories. The other fight, you know, it was Freddy Hernandez versus BERTO. You know, Andre BERTO. Andre BERTO comes in and iced him in 1 round. You know, I mean, some people said it was a early stoppage, but I think it was good stoppage enough. You know, because if you hurt somebody, the referee knows. The referee knows when somebody's really hurt, and if you're really hurt, you don't want the other. You know, and BERTO's not no little feather puncher either, so he could have really killed him if he would have let the fight continue. So you know, I never complain when it comes to early stoppages, because I think about, you know, Levander Johnson, you know, I think about Oscar Diaz, you know, when I see those fights live, and then they have little strokes in the corner, or you know, and one dies, one had a coma, you know what I mean? So ever since I saw those things, I rarely complain about early stoppages, unless it's a stoppage like Calzaghe and Manfredo, you know, one of those feather fisting, and then they stop it, you know, and none of the punches really land. Okay, those I'm against, okay, but not the little, you know, when somebody's really hurt and then you stop it. No, that's called saving somebody's ass, okay? So that already covered the HBO side. Now let me jump onto the next one, the Showtime side. That's another prediction that I knew that was going to happen. The Andre Ward versus Sakio BIKA. I knew Ward was going to beat him. However, I knew BIKA was going to make it a tougher fight than he expected. I knew that BIKA was going to give Ward a much harder time than Kessler did, a much harder time than any other boxer in his career ever did, because BIKA is a wild swing brawler. He swings from the fences and just clubbing you, blah. But the thing is, he's really predictable, and that's how, you know, that's how I knew that Ward was gonna, you know, take him apart. But it wasn't gonna be easy, and just to let you guys know, you know, Ward is not that Ward, you know, got taken off of his game. It's just that's the way Sakio BIKA fights. He makes anybody he fights look bad. When he fought Joe Calzaghe, Sakio BIKA, Joe Calzaghe looked like he was already done, because he couldn't really take him apart like he took everybody apart, like Lacey or Manfredo or Hopkins. You know, you can tell that the Calzaghe wasn't, you know, but that's just the way Sakio BIKA fights. Okay, so Andre Ward did exactly what he had to do. If he couldn't done it any other way, he couldn't, you know, you can't look good against him. So jumping on the Froch and Abraham, wow. Carl Froch completely handcuffed Abraham the whole way through. He used the Hopkins winky right, you know, the system. You know, when he beats up the handcuffed guy, beats him, move around, beat, move around. But the thing is, Abraham always waits for 3 rounds before he throws that first two punches, 3 punches. He always waits. But this time, ever since the first round, he tried to go for it, and I could tell that Abraham, for some reason, he's not like he's not as disciplined as he used to be. Now it kind of like has to chase it. How does this happen? Kessler was the #1 dog in this whole tournament. Turns out to be the least one. Abraham turns out to be this runner-up for being the best one. And Andre Ward was the weakest one at first. You know, he was considered the underdog of the whole thing, and now Andre Ward is the runner-up of the whole thing. This is, instead of the Super 6, they should have called it the Andre Ward tournament, because basically that's what it is. It's his coming out party to fight the best from super middleweights in the world, and boom, fatten up his resume. That's all that happened. That's all this happened, and I don't know why anybody can argue with me, but I believe that Andre Durrell is scared of Andre Ward, and he doesn't want to fight him. I believe it in my eye, because I look at Durrell when he's talking about it. When he was in an interview talking about it, he kept looking to his left. He kept like blinking when he was talking about it, and I'm like, why do I have a feeling that this guy's gonna like pull out? I knew he was gonna pull out. I don't know why, because just the way he was talking about the fight. He wasn't talking about like, yeah, we're gonna get into it. No. He was talking about it like, yeah, you know, like hopefully everything goes through, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? And if the fight happens, you know, like if what, hopefully, like you already had a foot out of the door. So I knew somehow that something's gonna happen. So when they canceled it, I was like, I knew it. I fucking knew it. You know. So what are you gonna do? So anyways, those are all the fights that I saw this weekend. The explosive one was Juan Manuel Marquez and Katsidis, like I said. Prediction was flawless, and yeah, you know, Just hope for the next one to come through. What's the next fight coming up? I can't even think of it at the top of my head, but I would say that this is really action-packed night this time, you know. So there was no disappointments, and yeah, you know, hopefully the big fights that keep piling up, you know, they keep delivering like the way they do in their commercials, or the way they hype it up, you know what I mean? So hopefully everything comes through. The next fight this year, I think, is the Kisora Vladimir Klitschko. I don't know much about that dude, so you know, in order for me to do a prediction, this is the first time that I'm gonna look at YouTube videos, you know, just to check out what this guy is about, you know, because people keep asking me about it. I have a thing against that, you know, like if I'm gonna do a video about somebody, I already have to know something about him and not just look it up and then tell you right away. But this is gonna be the first time, so I'm gonna let you guys know that I'm gonna be doing that, just because I don't even know who this guy is. Okay, so this is JERMZ the Boxing Prophet, aka JERMZ. Subscribe. You got any questions about boxing, you know, email me at the JERMZ, JERMZ, JERMZboxing@live.com. Okay, so anything you want to ask me, ask me. I already answered a question about the Vitaly Klitschko and David Haye fight. I already talked about the Canelo fight. So if any questions you guys talking about, or anything you got in your head, ask me. Don't ask me stupid questions like, what if Floyd would have fought Muhammad Ali at heavyweight, or something stupid like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, just give me a hit up, and bada boom, bada bang. Okay, all right.